So let's get back to the food choices that you make. And I'm a big believer in basically in enjoying the food that we eat. And part of that, I think, is having a healthy balance, is to eat the foods that we love, to enjoy a little bit of everything, to have a balanced diet of fats, of carbohydrates, of proteins. And this mix, this balance is what gives us a healthy lifestyle, I think, physically and also in terms of well-being. So related to this is being aware of the dangers, for example, of cutting out carbohydrate. Because many modern diets say, cut out carbohydrate and you will lose weight. And of course, this is going to happen. But you need to be aware of the dangers of how this affects your decision making and how it affects the performance of the brain. It's been shown that the brain is one of the most glucose-hungry organs in the body. It needs carbohydrate to function well and to, for example, make effective decisions. But what you can do is you can be a little bit more selective of the carbohydrates that you do eat through this thing called glycemic index. So basically all carbohydrates have a high glycemic index whereby we will get a rapid release of glucose, of energy, of sugar into our bloodstream. But after that peak, very quickly comes this low point or this crash. And it's been shown that during these low points, we feel hungry very soon after, and we will probably eat about 30% more calories. So in order to manage your weight more effectively, can you look for carbohydrates which are lower glycemic index, which basically have a lower release of energy or glucose to your bloodstream, and this energy lasts for longer. So you have less high and low points, you don't peak your blood sugar, and you have your energy more constant as we go through the day. So this isn't like many other diets which say the food that you love to eat you can't, and everything else that you hate you have to incorporate in your diet. You can affect your glycemic index by your cooking method. By cooking pasta, for example, 2 or 3 minutes under cooking instructions, you can lower the glycemic index. By keeping the skin on a potato, you can lower the glycemic index. Instead of the real white foods like white bread, make a little change to cereal or brown bread. You'll have a lower glycemic index. Even the type of rice, different chocolate has different glycemic index. So how can you look at your food choices a little bit more proactively to manage your energy and thereby your weight more effectively through the day? So this is weight management, as we've been talking about the last few minutes, but it's also about your decision making. Think about the decision that you would make when your blood sugar is peaking at this point compared to when you're tired and hungry and your blood sugar is low. It's going to be very different. And I've worked with companies whereby we've had long meetings in an office environment. We have a pause on this meeting without having had a decision, and then what happens in these office spaces is that we have vending machines which are filled with high glycemic index snacks, sugary snacks. So these people go out, they take one of these snacks, they come into the meeting and think, hey, I've got the answer. Yeah? This hasn't come from insight, this has come from peaking their blood sugar. So think about the decisions you make and how this is affected by some of these very, very simple things. So I'm not saying, before we move on, that high glycemic index is a bad thing. It has its role. But one thing to do, I think, as a takeaway, is to be careful what you have, particularly for your breakfast. Try and stay away from high glycemic index type breakfast, croissants, donuts, real sugary type foods, because if you peak your blood sugar first thing in the morning, you're apt to do that as you go through the day.